Welcome to the CFG GameCast episode number 80, a weekly podcast created by gamers and streamers alike to discuss the latest gaming topics from the previous week. We stream a new episode on Saturdays and release it on podcast services like Apple, Google Podcasts, Stitcher Radio, and Podbean. So show us some love. Give us a follow, a like, a comment, what have you on any of our podcast services. That goes a long way. Or go to our main website, confreaksandgeeks.com, to not miss an episode. I am Mr. CFG Games himself, Davis Green, and with me are my two awesome co-hosts. I got Lex on the second seat. What is going on, my cyborg?
Hello. I had cyborg problems all week. My life was boring. I had doctor's appointments from Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, yeah? And I was in bed for most of it. It was, Sal decided to turn off this weekend, last weekend, and so fluid had to come out of somewhere, my eyeball. It was a fun trick, though. I'd blow my nose, and it would just
that's
spray out of my tear duct.
Terrible just thinking of it right now.
Yeah, so it wasn't it wasn't like a horrible headache. Like, I could tell, like, I had, like, high pressure, but it was like, I'm just gonna lay down, and I'm gonna sleep through this, is what my body was doing. And so, it is what it is, but I had cyborg problems, lots of doctor's appointments. Hopefully it leads to a solution down the line, but I didn't do much. But I did technically beat on Monday, even though I was having like back-to-back seizures. If you watched my Monday stream, I'm so sorry. I was so goofy because I was just like, what's happening? We beat at dead of night. The only thing is now I have to save my 5 friends who are in the hotel. So Monday, that's what we're doing. We're saving our friends. We're going to try to, because Jimmy's a creep. It's basically like playing a bonk simulator, because he knocks you out and then puts you places, and it's really creepy. But yeah, after you beat it, it's really neat because it saves it, and it's like, after this point, there are no more saves. So you either get everybody out and you win, or you don't get anyone out and you lose. Like, you can give up now or continue and try to save all your friends, which is really cool. I like that. But At Dead of Night was a fantastic game. Oh my God, it sounds like someone is shaking my house.
Super windy out here.
Yeah, that's
windy out here.
That's crazy. But that's good.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool.
That's
I mean,
it.
Yeah. Haven't heard of the game. I need to start checking your stream out for that. I've never
Monday,
heard
Wednesdays.
of the kind of game to play. Yes.
I was watching. Yeah, it looked
It's
like
cool.
it's a point and click, right?
Yeah, and Opie was like, every time I'd like, the cat's just like, why are you running? I don't get it. But happy Valentine's Day. I bought you guys some flowers. Just kidding, Dustin. But there you go.
There you go. That's awesome. You know who didn't give us flowers, Lex?
Who?
The 5-star
Smitty?
general of the itty bitty Smitty committee. I got Smitty on the third seat. What is going on, my dude?
Like you guys, I was also under the weather. My diverticulitis decided to flare up. So that was nice and painful. I didn't really do much of anything. I have, however, we purchased Little Nightmares. So we've been running that as a family, which is really, really fun.
The first one or the second one?
The first one.
Okay.
We're gonna start with the first one, and then go from there. So we picked that up. We've been playing through that a little bit. I finally, again, thank you, Zukara the Tall. They ran me through this latest raid, Cryptstone or Crypt whatever, and then we ran Garden of Salvation as well. So we ran through 2 doodads there, and that felt really, really good. And it didn't take us forever, because again, I'm not a noob when it comes to raiding in Destiny. It's like, as long as I understand, like, just explain what the mechanics are, give me one of the easier roles so I can, ease into it. And yeah, we ran through them great. So it was freaking awesome. I loved it. I enjoyed it. We got a new season that started this past Tuesday, so I've been playing that and getting started with that. So other than that, everything has been going well. What about yourself, Davis?
Wow, well, that's cool. Well, like, as always, like everyone, I guess I have to go in the same kind of mode. Like, yeah, I was definitely under the weather too for a little bit, and
we were dying, guys.
Well, it can't be like, I don't think anyone could be as bad as Lex, but I will say that it's just like but yeah, I was like, we were just not in any mode to do it. And right now it sucks because it's like, I'm in Texas and it's literally 20 degrees right now, which is like insane.
Crazy.
And we're going to be hitting it down to -1 in the next day or so after this winter warnings. I mean, the other day actually there was a 100 car pileup in the middle of the highway. It was insane. You should see the pictures of it. Yeah, it was ridiculous. It was bad. It was really bad. 6 people died in it, and I was just like, "Holy crap, dude!" It was really bad.
No.
Yeah. So I mean, you got to take a look at the pictures of the video, like the pictures of that crash was like you see 2 trucks like this, right, like a pyramid, and then underneath the trucks are piles of like cars, SUVs, and stuff like that. There, it was. Yeah, it was ridiculous. It was insane. So I was just like, wow. And my friend was actually in was in that pilot, but he was at the end of it. So I was like, wow. Good. So so it was crazy. Wow. Yeah. And then despite all that, so my other computer died. So that really sucks. So rest in peace of it. But so I had to bring the new computer up and running before I wanted it to, but it's okay. It's really nice. It's actually a very nice computer, and just been moving everything around on it. So I didn't have time to play the games I've been playing. I'm able to say that I've been playing Persona 5 Strikers, so I'm going to be doing a video of that, a video review of that, as well as the video review of Ys 9. And on top of all of that, we just released my interview with Jeremy Lee, who was like the voice of V from Cyberpunk 2077, Persona 5, and all that stuff like that. It's just been, that's
awesome.
It is hilarious. Yeah, she was a really good, like literally, I could have talked to her all day, and it was really. She's really cool. I definitely enjoyed it. So it was really cool. So definitely check us out on that. That is Pop Culture Gems. If you want to hear our interview on that, and that's on podcast services as well. We were talking about stuff like we were saying how dark Pinocchio really was. You know, like the show. It's a very creepy movie when you seriously sit down. Yeah, when you think about it, it's like, come on, like I would say, like Geppetto made a wooden doll because he was lonely, for crying out loud. That's the start of the story, you know. So I'm just saying,
the book is scarier than the movie. And the adaptation doesn't even show a lot of the book, but what it does show, like I know like grown men who are like, no, I will never watch a movie again. Watching them turn into donkeys was like,
Yeah.
But reading the book, it's not as intense because you're imagining it, you know what I mean? But then put in life and like in front of your eyes is a totally different experience.
There's a lot of craziness in that movie that would be like, okay, this is really creepy. All you're missing is that creepy violin, that little like these are kind of spots, you know. But anyways, well, enough about us talking about the creepy
Italian one.
Yeah, enough of us talking about the creepy Disney movies. Let's go through the normal rigmarole that we normally do. So each of us chooses a topic or discussions within video games for the previous week. The topic would or could be about a specific game or something that happened in the gaming industry itself. And we don't want to talk about it amongst ourselves. We want a topic from the topic from the listener or viewer to be a part of the conversation. So if there's something that you're wanting to say or something that you're wanting to chime in about what we're talking about, by all means, type it inside the chat on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitch, and we will want you to be a part of the conversation. So let's get this started. Let's go with Lex. What are you bringing to the table?
So it's actually super interesting, and I know that I remember this because I mean this was like my beginning of my college days. So I think I would say this was like mid to tail end. I'm sorry, I lied to you. In 2009, a video came out of a game that Konami was making, and it was called 6 Days in Fallujah. Well, it got a lot of backlash, and Konami was like, sorry, we're out. So what happened to the game? I mean, it was pretty much almost finished. And we play a lot of games that are based off of wars. This one was based off the Iraqi war. And this is a true story. What's really neat about this game is they've talked to civilians that were there, soldiers that were there, because it wasn't just US soldiers, it was all British soldiers that were there. They've talked to, hundreds of people, gotten their stories. And so the game is based off of events and stories told by civilians, soldiers, and so on and so forth. And that's, and I can understand at the time it would have been very controversial. Here's the thing though. if something is to me, it's like a history book, right? Like we read about things in history as, like 9/11 hit hard. We still, it's a touchy subject. The Iraqi war at the time was a touchy subject. People were not happy about it for multiple reasons. However, they're making the game, guys, and it's going to come out. So basically, the whole story is the controversial shooter set during the Iraq War is finally coming out nearly 12 years after it was first announced. According to a news release from the game's publisher, the tactical game will be based on true stories gathered from members of the military as well as Iraqi civilians who lived through the Second Battle of Fallujah in 2004. Developing it this time is Hivewire Games versus Konami because they had backed out the first time. But basically, I don't know if you're going to switch between being a civilian or in the military, but it's really neat how when you watch the trailer, they show actual people speaking about what happened, what their experience was, how things played out. And there was a lot of issues in this particular scenario because there are rules to war that you are supposed to follow. And the United States and the British military that were there were basically stuck because a lot of the civilians and the military on the ground on their side were setting off like white phosphorus ammunitions and other offensive weapons to basically keep them trapped in Fallujah. And so you are running through this story with people who were actually there. I think this is a really cool experience. Now, I think it could also trigger some people. I get that. But it's coming out. The release date, I read through the article twice. I don't see an actual release date. But the developer made a really cool statement at the end and said, throughout history, we've tried to understand our world through stories of events that happened to somebody else. 6 Days in Fallujah asks you to solve that real life challenge from one of this century's toughest battles for yourself. We believe that trying to do something for ourselves can help us understand not just what happened, but why it happened the way that it did. Video games can create an insight and empathy in ways other media cannot. More than 100 Marines, soldiers, and Iraqi civilians have shared their stories with us so that you can participate in them through this unique interactive medium. We hope that experiencing their extraordinary moments of truth will give each of us a new perspective into a conflict that was shaped so much of our century, as well as the people who have sacrificed so much because of it. So I wanted to know y'all's take on this. I mean, the video is pretty intense if you listen to it with sound. I know we're probably not playing it with sound for you guys. I'm sure we can throw up a link for you if you are interested in looking at the full article and watching the trailer for yourself. There are other longer trailers out as well. But when I saw it, I was like, wow. Because I do like playing historically accurate games regardless of what it is. And so to me, I was like, sign me up. Because I like hearing real life stories. And I think if you're going through this from different people's perspectives, it's kind of neat because you're not, again, like I feel like we all live kind of in an echo chamber, right? These are my opinions, these are my views, and I have friends who feel the same way. Which, okay, but you should also hear the other side, regardless of what the situation is.
It seems also a little bit. I mean, I don't know. It's like. I mean, I'm not against them releasing it, in my opinion, but at the same time, I can understand the level of the level of how hard it could hit close to home. Because don't get me, this isn't a first time to hear about a different perspective of something that happened in the current events in real life. I mean, look at Medal of Honor or Call of Duty, like back in the days and stuff. And that's probably where they were coming from initially. But I think this is a little different because this is something that happened so recently. And this is something that we're kind of still in the middle of, this kind of this kind of back and forth that we are with the Middle East, that it hits too close to home. For instance, World War II, in my opinion, there's the time when we were when they were releasing these Medal of Honors and stuff like that. it's been so long. It was 60, 70,
Right.
well, initially it was like 70 years after the initial events that happened in World War II. So not a lot of people would be going in, like, you know, especially ex-soldiers and stuff like that to do it. But then now to say that, like, I mean, the level of the chances of someone playing a game like that and having a level of PTSD because of the story that they're giving on something that happened and occurred in real life is pretty high, is what I'm saying. That's why, yeah, that's
And
why I'm saying that it's like,
I don't disagree.
it's a very touchy line that I don't know that you should be flirting with, is what I'm saying. Because
Well, Kid says he's afraid that it'll be a whitewashing. I don't think so, because if you listen to the trailer, they're talking to Iraqi civilians who were there at the time. It's not just our side. It's also the British military as well. And I think, again, always do your research on stuff. And I know I had friends who were in the Iraqi war, but they were not in Fallujah. But they had friends who were in Fallujah, and sadly, some of them were lost. I don't think anyone who necessarily was in this war should probably play this game. I think people who, like me, are intrigued by hearing other people's stories and having that, not sympathy, but empathy for them. Because it's like, you know, when I'm sick, I don't want people to feel bad for me, but I just want you to understand what I'm going through from a different perspective. And I think maybe learning that perspective for some people like myself who enjoy history, I think my dad would enjoy sitting here watching me play this. You know what I mean?
But
Like, I think it would intrigue him. But I get it. I was just curious. Smitty, what do you think?
I have a hard time with war.
Yeah, I know.
In general, like war, especially like war movies. I typically stay away from them.
I've never seen Saving Private Ryan.
yeah, you probably don't want to.
Don't do it. Like that.
I know.
I have images from that movie that I cannot get out of my head.
And that stuff is
I know
fake.
that it is real stuff, dude. Like it is stuff that happened, and I think that's like I enjoy reading and learning about the history of that stuff, seeing visuals of it, feeling. You know what I mean? Like again, the point of these mediums are to engross yourself into it. You almost get to be in the situation. That is not a situation that I ever want to be in. You have to do things like that to, you know what I mean, take another person's life to, you know what I mean, so many different things. Like it is the most gritty and raw it gets. And I have a very hard time. That's why I have a very hard time with war movies. I definitely don't want to play a game that is going to put me into that situation. I do like the fact, and I don't know if they're planning on mixing like playable stuff in with like some of these like cutscenes and things like that.
Yeah, I hope that's a part
really
of it.
Interesting.
Yeah,
and I think that's a really interesting part of it. And I do think that they're, you know what I mean, like that.
Like he was an Iraqi civilian, the one that's on the screen right now.
Right. And and again, those are important stories to tell. I just feel like in
a game format though, that's what seems kind of weird, you know?
To me that feels insulting almost. And I don't know why.
I get that.
But it just seems, you know what I mean? Like, and again, I think based on how they present it, how it just seems like a weird medium to present a real life historical event, tragic, historical event. I don't for me it's like that's not one that I would play for sure. And I can, and like they're saying in chat too, like this absolutely would trigger people's PTSD and things like that. Just hopefully comes with big warnings in front of it. But again, there's I don't know, we'll see how. I don't know that people would. I don't know, it just doesn't seem like.
I don't think it just seems like
that a video
I
game.
think that this
as a
game
documentary, I could possibly watch it as a documentary. But I mean, even as a fictional war movie like Saving Private Ryan, like I can't watch those things because I know that was, you know what I mean, like, and those images get stuck in my head.
Yeah.
You know what though? Okay, look, if you're wanting to have the image of like to me, when you're saying a game like this is supposed to kind of depict of something that happened in Fallujah specifically, it's like I think the medium of gaming is a little. I kind of agree with Smitty on the fact that it is a little insulting because like the way if you're wanting. Yeah, if you're wanting to learn, like, what happened in Fallujah, I mean, yeah, a movie format is something that could have been like, okay, this is the kind of stuff that did happen towards it. But at the same time, though, it's like when you're kind of going into when you're like trying to say this is a scenario that you could play yourself, and this is what happened, like series of what happened during that time. It's kind of like, why are you wanting to play that? you know, right. It's kind of like can you imagine what was the name with Benghazi? Can you imagine if they made a game about Benghazi and then they'll be like, right, okay, it's like you wouldn't want to. It's like because it's a sour spot. It's a sour spot that'll be like, ooh, yeah, no, or 9/11. It's like, hey, do the simulator of a plane crashing into the World Trade Center. It's like you wouldn't want to do that because that's in bad taste. So in a way, the way I look at it is that they make a game like this. And like they're making a topic like this into a game format is something that no one wanted, and even at the time when Konami said no, we're not going to release this because this might be too extreme for us, that it's because it's like it can be. I think it can be looked at as an insulting way. You have to be like on top of like I mean, not necessarily whitewashing or and stuff like that, but more like you have to be like accurate on like what happened on this. Yeah. Like you can't be like shortcuts or anything like that on what's going on and understanding of what happened is where I stand on it.
Yeah,
and that's just a storyline. Now you're talking about the game mechanics. You got some janky game mechanics or something like that. Now you're extra insulting. Now you're just throwing salt in the wound.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, this seems like a bad idea.
Can you imagine? It's like the trophy list
through the wall. I don't remember that happening.
Like, or better yet, like a trophy list or something like that. Like saying, what are you gonna do? It's like, oh, take three headshots on one person, and then you get a bronze trophy or whatever. You know, I mean, it's just like. All around, this is like I don't know. This is something that no one wanted. It's what I'm saying. This is that's why I'm kind of on the fence with this. And I would find this insulting, especially the video that they gave you, the preview video, the trailer video that they give you. It's kind of like, wow, I do remember all that stuff that was happening, you know, the kidnapping and they're showing regular video of all this. It's like, oh no, I don't know, man. I don't know. Can you imagine?
I see, and Kith, I get it, and I absolutely agree with your comment about the illegal incursion. To me, I don't know. I'm intrigued by it because it almost seems like it's a video game mixed with a documentary, and to me, I'm immersed. I'm more immersed. Do I think that it is offensive to some people? Absolutely. I can completely understand that. But I also think of we're playing games like Cold War where like the KGB was a thing, you know, and it's. I feel. I mean, it's like when is too soon? But I get it. I get it. Like this isn't for everybody. This is oh hi Lincoln. You know, I don't know. I'm intrigued by it. I'm intrigued. I do want to know if those videos of the real people are not inside the game, then I'm a no-go. If the videos of people actually telling their story of this is the scenario I went through and this is how it went down and they're narrating, oh, I'm totally in. I'm totally in. Because I do feel like, I don't know, I'll be honest, when I was a kid, I told my dad, I was like, I'm going to be a Navy SEAL. I don't know why, but I wanted to be a Navy SEAL, and I was like, I can do it. My dad's like, sweetheart, you're not going to be taller than 5 feet. There's no way. You know, I've always had great aim when it comes to weapons, and I to me as a kid, I was like, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to join the military, and I'm going to be a Navy SEAL. That didn't happen, but obviously, you know, I don't know. I had a lot of people who were away in this war. Who were close to home for me, and I kind of want to understand what things were like from their perspective.
Well, you
Does that make
can
sense?
just read a book or watch a movie.
I
I
know,
don't
that's
know.
right.
To me, that doesn't. That's not.
Ravage says COD comes close with the bullcrap that is offensive, but they can say this is fake and we made it up. And I think that's the big difference for me is the fact that they're using fictitious stories, even though you're using real elements, plucking real elements from life.
History. Yeah.
You know, from history and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But this is like straight up 6 days. Here's like this seems like it's a documentary put into a video game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And again, too, this also, you know, I also got to look at the fact that the people that are being interviewed, were they told that this is going to be for a game, or did they just think that this was going to be for a documentary or something like that? Was it disclosed what medium and how this was going to be presented to people? That could also change things as well, too. I don't know. It just seems, it feels.
There's a lot of red flags on this. Is where it's coming.
I don't disagree.
Coming down towards,
I don't disagree. I was just curious.
No.
And I think there's and not this could be offensive to people. Yes, I believe this could be offensive to
that's why it cannot be said no.
More so, this feels insulting to me. Is what it is. It feels like it. I don't know. It's hard for me to explain, I guess. But it just doesn't. I don't know, and it's hard to say without actually seeing or actually playing. You know, I'm going based off of a trailer.
Yeah,
this seems like something that people be like, nah, we should probably not touch this.
Or premise, you know what I mean? Because this game has been it's been a 12-year limbo because the original publisher said no, this might be a little bit too much. At the time,
Konami was on board, like
here's the
fully
scary
on board until the trailer came out. And
here's
then
the scariest part of that, though, because technically, when Konami was on board, this was only 6 years after that the events happened. Right. So that's like, so that's way too fresh, is what I'm saying. It's come on, it's just crazy. Kid Sanders says, being a game over a documentary worries me that it's targeted recruitment propaganda for young males who dominate the genre of first-person war shooters, which is also a legitimate point. I definitely would definitely understand. I could see that.
I understand that, and I would say watch the trailer with sound. There's also other trailers. I think from what you hear, you'll go, oh, okay. It's not, because I mean, these men, like, they've been through it and they're very open about it. And I mean, I want to do more research. Like you said, like, did they know it was for a video game? Like, I kind of want to go back and look. But yeah, I don't know. For something about this just intrigues me. I was like, this is a war game I might play. Because I mean, I play zombies with you guys in Cold War and all of that. And I'm just like, I'm here to play with my friends and to just chit chat and like die a lot. You know, it's just a way of me to spend time with my friends. I don't really care for them, to be honest, but I do enjoy historically accurate from the word of mouth, you know what I mean? And from different perspectives too. We're not just hearing from one perspective. And I think that's what intrigued me. It's like, wait, you're talking to actual civilians who are actually there? Oh, this sounds interesting. But I get it. I understand how, you know, there's a lot of red flags, and I definitely agree. But that was my topic, and maybe, you know, we can move on.
Yep. We will.
Did you like it, though?
We will move on. Yes.
No, that's good. No, for sure. That's
dug it? You dug it?
Very much so.
That's a great topic.
Thank you.
I know. I was not familiar with that at all.
Opie this whole time has been staring at me like, what is this about?
Opie's like saying, it's like, don't talk about Fallujah. That's what Opie's saying.
I was there. Don't talk about it. Yeah.
Smitty.
Don't talk about it.
What are you doing, Smitty?
You're up on the list. What's your topic?
We've been getting more, and we've gotten more news as far as casting wise for this Borderlands movie that's coming out, which I think is fantastic. I'm a little leery on this latest casting. They recently casted Jack Black to play Claptrap. If you've played the Borderlands series, he very much, I mean, that's a fantastic series as it is. Jack Black is fantastic. The thing that makes me nervous about this casting, however, though, is that I feel like Claptrap is funny, but Claptrap is not trying to be funny. And Jack Black could be a little over the top at times. So it'll be interesting to see how that's played. But I mean, they've got some big ass stars.
I am not liking this cast at all, dude. Like, to be honest with you, I'm not on board with what they're choosing.
Hold on. Kate Blanchett as Lilith, I think, is absolutely perfect. Kate Blanchett is amazing. I think, and I've got
she can play anything.
She can play anything. Yeah, exactly.
But also, so can Jack Black. He's been in some serious stuff before. So
I'm not worried about Jack Black as much as I'm more
overestimating.
No. I'm not worried about Jack Black as much as the fact that I'm more worried about Kevin Hart. Like, what is that?
Wait, Kevin.
Yeah,
yeah. Jamie Lee Curtis right now as Tannis.
Yes, it's like
is what we have. Hold on, I got a video.
I got told I look like a young Jamie Lee. I don't think so.
We gotta get the list. I'm gonna get the list of people out on here real quick, because I was looking at this and I was like, I am not sure if I'm on board.
4 foot tall Kevin Hart.
Well, more importantly too, who's gonna be handsome Jack? And like what story, like I'm always curious, especially when it comes to, if you guys notice, and we've been talking about it a little bit, but video game movies are getting better and better. Hollywood is seeing that how big the audience is, so they're actually investing real and more money into the production of these video game movies. They're only going to get better from here. So really, I think as far as, there's a couple things that you can play here. Is it going to be an animated movie? I would love it to be an animated movie.
If it's animated, I'll be fine with that. Yeah, I'll be more fine with that than I would be like live action.
Animated.
Her and
as
Thor.
opposed to live action.
Yummy.
And then, and then what?
Take me now,
what's the
lady.
story? Where are they going to go? Are they going to try to, which again I think is a mistake, are they going to try to go with a story that we already know and basically just, hey, we're going to start from the beginning, or are they going to come up with a new story or something kind of pieced off of the Borderland games that have already come out and whatnot? I think
they'll probably. I think they're going to try to introduce this as a new IP for people who haven't played the game to be introduced into the world of Borderlands. So I'm assuming it's going to be kind of like it's going to be kind of like a hybrid of what the original one was, but in their own storytelling way, is what I'm assuming. Would make the most sense, because it's just like, okay, there you go. And Jack Black has an acting bug in him. I mean, I think it's underrated towards him, but so I don't mind him as Claptrap, because I mean, you've seen him in so many other other roles that he doesn't. I mean, that I could say that I don't mind it. Yeah, come on, dude. Like, have you ever seen the movie Bernie? Like, when he was Bernie. Watch Bernie. You know what I'm talking about.
I've never even heard of that.
Oh yeah, Bernie.
I don't think I've seen it.
Bernie's even a true story. So it's about a guy. Yeah, like Oh yeah, and that was young Jack Black in The Jackal. So I mean, he's not.
Yeah.
He's not. He's not like he's not like a typecasted person. He's a very talented person, in my opinion. But I agree.
I think maybe it's because like the last things I've seen him on were like Journey
comedies,
the newer Jumanji.
Yeah.
The kid movies.
Yeah,
like
but he played a female
Goosebumps
in that, and how good was that? Goosebumps was pretty good too. And
I enjoy those. Enjoy those. But that's what I have image-wise in my head of him recently, acting-wise. So I'm taking that essentially and trying to put that in the Claptrap, and I'm like, ooh, that can be like. I hope he doesn't play like corny. But you're right. He is a legitimate, and again, I'm not taking away, because he is a legitimate artist through and through. He is not some sort of fluke or anything like that. So
I'm not worried about him as much. I'm just more worried about like I said, like I don't know, like, because I mean there's a lot. I mean, these people are pretty like big names for, when they put a lot of big names like this in a video game movie. That's what kind of concerns me a little bit. I mean, I know Jamie Lee Curtis. Surprisingly enough, Jamie Lee Curtis is a gamer, so I definitely understand where she's going to be coming at on that. Lee Curtis. But overall, like I don't like the idea with Kevin. I don't know what it is with me, but it's like I just don't trust Kevin Hart. I don't trust Kevin Hart, man.
A big red flag. Well, see, and speaking of Jumanji, See, again, man.
He was in that too. He was hysterical in that, though. Oh my god!
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I enjoy Kevin Hart, but like, you know what I mean? Like, there's.
I don't know what the character is. I'll be honest. I don't play Borderlands really. I played a little bit with Smitty and Dust, but I really haven't played it. But to me, the castings, with the first casting you mentioned, the female who played the bad guy in Thor. Kate Blanchett. Blanchett. Love her. Oh my god, and she's aged beautifully. She can take me away anytime. Kate, hi, hello. I'm available. Well, anyways. But I think when it comes to castings, the bigger the names, I feel, and especially with like Kate Blanchett, she doesn't take any what from anybody. There's been reports of her working on sets where they're like, no, we want you to play this character this way. And she's like, no, because she's done her research and she's like, absolutely not. You're taking away from what this was. And I think the same thing with Jack Black. He's really good at playing things the way that they should be. And he's done voices in video games before. He's done voiceovers in other cartoons. He's replaced people in cartoons and done the voiceovers and kept it the same, and it was an easy transition. And I think being an actor is also learning your parts. Like, yes, he's funny, and someone joked that I was like the female version of him, which thank you, I'm not. He's funny, yes, I can sing, and so can he, but I think when it comes down to it, I think we have to put into consideration, have we really heard these people voice act, and what was it like? And is this going to be cartoons or is this going to be live action? And obviously Jack Black's
still too early to tell right now.
CGI.
Well, yeah, his definitely CGI, but like, I just think that, I mean,
Kate Blanchett could play that character like straight up. She could just
like, if I look at the list of what it is right now, to me it's like, hey, they're making a Borderlands movie. I'm like, oh, good for them, they're making a Borderlands movie. I'm not gonna watch it immediately because it's nothing that screams out for me to be like, oh, I can't wait for this movie to come out. And especially me, because like I know of Borderlands. I haven't really played Borderlands. I played at max, and if I play a total of the world of Borderlands, I'll be like, oh, okay, I'll wait for I've probably played like a total of an hour of Borderlands for all of them combined. I like, and I am interested in this story. Yeah, no, but then
it's
again, this movie, this movie is going to be meant for the people like me, though, because they're not going to be meant for the people that know of the story of it. So like, if it's going to inspire me to be like, oh, let me try out the games, because I mean, I'm also a gamer. Then so be it. But like, I don't have, but like from the list they're showing me, and then the list of the thing, I'm like, oh, okay, it's a movie, it's coming out. I mean,
Borderlands is essentially like that, you know what I mean? That top tier looter shooter, like giving you all the different guns, all the different stuff. Like, looter shooters are basically based off of Borderlands and how they do their stuff and whatnot. Not only that, but you've got, again, I can kind of see, like, and this is where I really first got my experience, was from playing Cyberpunk. Like, I would love, you know what I mean? You can get a real, like, I feel like it's a very adult game as well. So you can have a lot of fun putting this in the movie format. I think Kit said that they did confirm that Claptrap's going to be CGI.
Oh yeah.
So that'll be
He's the little robot that's with you, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I love Claptrap. I think you'd be really good for that.
I think you guys would be a lot more.
He is funny though.
I ran through Borderlands 2 and Borderlands 3. I didn't play the first one or the prequels or whatever.
Claptrap in 3 was funny though. Like, he was straight up. He was hysterical. He made me laugh a lot. But he's like dry humor and sarcastic. And he's got that like perfect balance of people who may not understand dry humor or sarcasm, but can still laugh at it. Or at least I could. But I'm all sarcasm all the time. So whatever. I like it. I'm very intrigued. I think this will be cool. And I think, like, Borderlands is a game that I wanted to go back and play, and we have it in our library, so I'm able to do that. I just have no free time. If there is a possibility of like, there might be, where I can put it on the TV and just cast it, then I could play it. But yeah, man, maybe this will be like my next hospital game that I play. Maybe that's what it'll be.
Very possible.
I definitely think it's definitely think it's worth the.
I mean, I still
the playthrough. You would enjoy it if you like.
I'd rather play it.
Good, like.
I'd rather play with multiplayer if I did. I'd like. I mean, because I have.
Well,
it does, yeah.
I have the original Borderland.
I haven't played through it. I have Prologue 1 and 2. Yeah, I have Prologue 1 and 2, and then it's I still want to play it. Yeah, so it's all crazy. But I'm just saying, it's like, I mean, I'm not saying I wouldn't want to play it. It's just like I just don't have it. I haven't had the drive to mess around with it, to be into it. So
what just dawned on me is if they do live action, this is very similar to pop art. Is how these characters are drawn, the makeup, and the SFX for these characters is going to be amazing.
I feel like this game is going to be more like
Kevin Hart is like 4'9", so I don't.
They just shove him inside. The metal.
But Kip sent me over this article. It says Black will not be seen on screen in a robot costume as Claptrap. Be a CGI character with Black providing the voice. The casting is pretty obvious given Black's style of quick talking comedy and oddball humor is pretty much pitch perfect for Claptrap.
Agreed.
Robot character is one of the more popular from the series and often considered a bit of a mascot for the games.
Yeah,
I agree with that 100%.
Absolutely.
And that is true. That is true. I did not give him, but you're right, Kevin. I mean, add the list. Kevin Hart is definitely the red flag for me.
I never.
It's not a red flag. I mean, you know what I mean. Like it depends on. Again, I'm not familiar with the character that he's supposed to be.
I'm just not a fan of his movie. So. I mean, personally, myself, I'm biased towards it because I've never been a fan of his movies. I've never been.
First one.
It's like, look, dude, if you're gonna have Kevin Hart, then I better see The Rock.
I know, right? The Rock is the one that The Rock compensates to each other very well. Yes,
is The Rock's accessory, right?
Yeah.
Yes, very much so.
He puts him in his pocket and just carries him around.
Very much so.
You know the backpacks for the cats with the. That's what he does. He puts him in his bag.
Do you know what it is like on Friday? Do you know like how it is on Friday with Ice Cube and Chris Tucker? Like Chris Tucker was acceptable because Ice Cube was there to level him out on the loudness. That's exactly what this is with The Rock and Kevin Hart. So I don't know. That's just with me. I don't. That's just with me. So I don't know. That's what it has to be. The Rock is the bad guy because of this. Because they're needed. Like it's stipulated the. Oh my God.
And also, Pedro Pascal got cast as the role as Joel.
And I love the girl who's playing her. She was in The Best Witch, and it's so cute on Netflix. Lincoln needs to watch it. She'd love it.
I need to go because like that's the little girl from Game of Thrones.
She's in Game of Thrones. Yes.
Cast as
I
Ellie.
think she also.
I don't know how I feel about that yet.
She was also in the second, if I'm not mistaken, of Dark Materials.
No. It wasn't Maisie Williams. Ravage.
Hold on.
No, we weren't talking to you.
No, let me see if I can pull a photo up for you guys. She's also in, I believe, second of the dark. It's based off the Golden Compass. The Darkest Materials or Darkest. I'm waiting for Adam to scream it from the other room because.
I know you're talking about the one with Lin-Manuel Miranda in it, but
I totally know. Yeah, here we go. Here we go.
She was basically in Game of Thrones. She played the leader of one of the groups that were helping the North to defend against the Walkers and stuff. But the White Walkers.
That is correct. Yeah.
There we go.
About the Golden Compass.
Bella Ramsey as Ellie. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so that's the two. So we'll see.
At first, I was like I was doing the kombucha girl. Like, yeah, no. I think for her casting, I think she's. Let's be honest. She's grown a lot from the picture that they posted, and I think that she's going to. We have to also remember in the first one because you guys played that real early on. I was like back to back. Early on, she's still very young. You know what I mean? When Joel takes his under her shoulder. And I think they picked her at a perfect age for her to grow into Ellie for a second season. Do you know what I mean? Or third or fourth or whatever.
Show, right?
No, it's not.
It's
technically.
I thought it was going to be a series.
Dude, Bella Ramsey is 17 years old, so she's technically older than when Joel was initially
she
met.
She looks like she's 9.
Matt, what's her name? So I'm
she
sure
looks.
I'm sure that they could make her look like, I mean, what they need to make her look like. It's like technically she needs to look like a 14-year-old girl, 13 or 14-year-old girl in the first time you meet her. So that's not a big stretch. Because then the time skip from 1 to 2 is 7 years. So like so then that's right. So I mean they have time to worry about this. They could easily do that with if they're making it a series. If it's a series, then they could easily do that. But like I mean we'll definitely see. Yeah.
There's a Getty image of her recently, like dressed as an adult for like what looks like Fashion Week. She looks like she's maybe 12. Like she's got crazy. That face where like if you put a lot of makeup on her, yeah, she could probably look 18. But honestly,
movie like magic. That's all I gotta say.
There's no way. I think she'll do great. Yeah, I'll shut my mouth now. Yeah.
Alrighty.
Got the chops for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So
what about look at
us judging people. That's what this show is all about. It's terrible.
I'm sorry.
But anyway, yeah. So my topic is actually something more. It's something interesting that I came across. I was like, wow, okay. So this is something that I was never expecting Sony to be busted on, but apparently it might come into fruition. So everyone hates drifted controllers, especially the ones with the Nintendo Switch and the stuff like that. My topic is interesting. Your topic sucks, Davis. I did not say that, Kith. But anyways, so we're talking about drifting on on Switch controllers has been a big issue for years now, and Nintendo basically just kind of gave in and they said, hey, if you have a drifted controller, send it to us, we'll fix it, and we'll send it back to you. And then actually there's a actual current class action lawsuit that's currently in effect to Nintendo about this drifted controllers. Well, apparently Sony PS5 is actually having the same issues in certain cases. So the same law firm that's actually pushing for the Nintendo class action lawsuits is actually currently investigating PS5's drifted controller issues as well. So so the law firm is called, I don't know how to say his name, but I think it's called Kim Cleese Schwartz Kreiner and Donaldson Smith LLP has set up a questionnaire page asking for PS5 owners to currently report instances of drift in which the controller basically what it is, like a drift, if you don't know what it is the controller registers a stick input even if the controller isn't being touched.
It's
so
annoying.
It's very annoying.
It happens on PC too.
Yeah, especially when you're playing Mario Kart online and then you're just like wondering, why am I slowly driving, like moving to the left a little bit when I need to go right? It's like very, very annoying. Yeah, so
Italian tune-up, just smack it in your hand real quick. Everything.
Yeah, so like so basically they're investigating. They're currently investigating. It's only investigating. They haven't implemented it yet, but it's a potential class action based upon reports that Sony PS5 DualSense controllers for PS5 consoles can experience drift issues or fall prematurely. So because there's already been current cases of this already, they're trying to see if it's something specifically if this is happening or if it's something that people have to worry about, in the long run. Because like what Nintendo's problem is that it was the same thing, was like the Joy-Cons was that if you kept on using them, it's just by natural wear and tear, it's going to get to it can easily get to that point easily because how small the Joy-Cons are. But what sucks is, man, Sony's been doing the controller game like this for years with the analogs, and this is they're finally getting one of these issues. It's like it hurts because besides the drifting issues, because fortunately I haven't experienced it yet, I'd say that the DualSense controller is one of the best controllers I've ever played with, like ever played with in my history of gaming. I just wanted to know if this is something that would be like what y'all's thoughts are, if this is gonna be a problem, or if you think Sony's gonna actually, you know, take it seriously, you know what I mean? So
I have a question.
What's up?
I feel like earlier in this year or last year, correct me if I'm wrong, I did a whole topic on Nintendo actually fixing you in being in the leader and fixing the drifting issue as far as controllers were concerned, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess my question is, they're and they're happy to replace any controllers, like older versions, because I know the new Nintendo Switch had a rollout with a program with an update that stopped most of that issue for like the handheld when you take it off the dock. Now, I have not experienced any drifting in any of my Animal Crossing. Also, I'm pretty sure I murdered all of my people on my island. I'm sorry. I haven't experienced any drifting since that came out. And as far as I was concerned, they had fixed that issue. I hadn't heard anybody complain about it. So is this more towards Sony or is this more towards Nintendo? You still have drift issues with Nintendo?
There's still drifting. Yeah, there's still drifting issues. Well, yeah. Well, the thing is, with Nintendo's current answer to it was the software update, but it still happen. It still happens. I mean, it's because the way the controller is in general. Because like they're saying it was they thought it was a software. It's a software issue that was causing it to be registered as going left. But no, it's also hardware, because the controller, the Joy. I mean, you felt the Joy-Con controller. They're fairly flimsy comparatively, like when it comes to that. So no, but like I'm just saying, as a point of reference, Nintendo is still experiencing this issue, and they're doing something about it. But but Sony's level of drift is being investigative, because we don't know how bad the drift is or how many people are experiencing it. So until they kind of get more solid information that if it's like hundreds of thousands of people are experiencing it, then we know that's an issue, and then and something that Sony will need to enforce. Or if it's something that is like, you know, they just got the bad luck of the draw when it came to controllers. So that's where they're at right now. So that's what I'm meaning right now, you know. So
gotcha.
Yeah,
because I know a lot of
that's very disappointing if that is the case, though, because there's nothing more just that like it's not,
you love that
annoying.
controller.
Like, you can't play, and I do love that controller. That
controller's great.
Really good.
Yeah,
it is by far the best controller.
His house is on fire. That's what he would grab.
The haptic feedback,
like,
man.
Grab the controller. The haptic.
Yeah.
I still need to come over and try it out for myself.
Yeah, like have you ever played the Astro Playbot game that came with the system, and then it shows you how the strength of what that controller can do? It's just amazing. Like that is probably the biggest thing that you get out of the next gen consoles is the fact that controller's technology alone is well ahead of everything that you've played before. So I mean, I'm just saying that, like, I mean, it's a downside, but what's cool is that Sony, I think something like this, if it's an issue, Sony will look into it, is what I'm saying.
This commercial,
and I think that they are
stuff is like mesmerizing. I like
I know, it really is.
Yeah,
you're just like, oh.
But they were doing I mean, people are saying that it's been kind of a mess to get them to fix, you know, sending in and fix stuff and whatnot. I'm seeing all kinds of videos about how to clean your controller and this and that, how to do it.
Oh man,
how to do it not taking it apart. It's like, it's like this too new to, you'll instantly void your warranty.
The one thing I hate about this controller is the fact that it's white, because you're just by holding your controller, you're already seeing some of the gunk that's on it. So like I have alcohol wipes every time just so I can wipe it all off. And so, well, no, but see, that's different because on the regular PS4 controller, it's smooth. But like on the PS5, the DualSense, the gunk is there's small tiny grooves in it that
actual like lumps are in it. Which I
Yeah,
talked about,
exactly.
That's what it is.
So it's keeping all that stuff. So it looks so like, so if a person doesn't like, wash their hands
Look
or
at my
whatever, it
controller.
looks so disgusting. You're like, hey, you want to be player one? You see all this gunk on the back of it. You're like, oh no, I'm good.
Eating Cheetos.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, it really does. It really does. Like the kids Center says PS5 will show you how dirty you really are, and it's like basically, it's basically like a little piece of that paper that turns purple. It's exactly like what that controller does for everyone. It's like, man, you are a slot for the most part, So yeah. So I'm always like self-conscious.
What it feels like this. I feel like this commercial is a pretty good representation for what that haptic feel.
I want to feel this now because I have nerve damage. So I'm curious if I would experience it the way that you experience it. Do you know what I mean?
Just there's certain purposes, like for instance, the trigger buttons on the back of the controller, depending if you with the haptic feedback, like it will lock you to press it at a certain point. Like, so you can't press it all the way down, or you can't. Yeah, or
that's what Call of Duty, like different guns have different like different amount of pressure you have to put onto, and you can feel every bit of it. It feels like, you know what I mean?
That's what I've heard.
Simulated.
Pulling trigger. Yeah. It's not easy.
Ooh. Yeah. I was like, this is nice.
It's like, ooh, very nice.
Very
nice. All the haptics.
Very nice. So yeah, most definitely. So
this is a real big issue then? Like, it's not just...
they're right now in the investigative
stage, and it's drifting like this. There's nothing that will infuriate me more. Than having
I absolutely agree. I'm just saying, like, how many people are having?
Well, right now, like I said, it's investigating. They're investigating to see how bad it is. Okay. So until they get more information on it, then it's like that's where we're at. I love this commercial though. This commercial's real tight.
When I'm having a seizure, can someone just put this on when my eyes are open? Thank you.
We'll see.
Roll it on repeat.
Yeah, they're right.
It's beautiful.
We'll definitely see how this all goes. It looks like rice,
but then it's not. It's like beads, like those like tiny little thin beads that were on dresses in the 70s. Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah, here, I'll run it back for your eyeballs real quick.
The eyeballs, there we go. All right. Well, there you go. Nice way to close it off. Lex, what are your plans for the week?
Well, tomorrow's Valentine's Day, and I asked Dust not to get me anything, and he did. And he ate all the Brock's hearts and is blaming it on me because the OG ones are the best. All right, they are chalktastic. The new ones are sweet tarts. Excuse you, rude. So I asked, I was like, because I knew I was going to have doctor's appointments all week, and I didn't play it on not feeling good. Saturday was last Saturday kicked that off. But tonight is Jersey's 13th birthday. I have a teenager. Yes, I'm a dad. I know you didn't know, but I am. I'm also her other guardian, so I'm dad. I'm going to go over and surprise her with some really cool anime stuff that she wanted that her mom, no, you can't have that. And I was like, oh, but I'll get it for you. So she's going to freak out. Tomorrow's Valentine's Day. We're going to lay in bed all day and do absolutely nothing. That's what I wanted. I was like, I want to lay in bed and watch movies with you all day. You can even put on your romantic BS that I hate because I am not a lovey-dovey movie person, but he is. You can put it on. I just want to lay in bed with you. He does. I'll lay in bed. Let's just lay in bed and enjoy each other, right? Enjoy the animals. Let's just relax. Let's do a me. Because if we lay on the couches, I'm gonna fall asleep instantly and it'll be a waste of time. But Monday, I'm gonna try to beat Jimmy and see if we can't rescue all our friends. And then the rest of the week, Spoopy Tuesday. Wednesday will probably be a new game unless I don't beat Jimmy. And then Thursday's Among Us, and Friday is Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. I want to beat that game by myself now that my character's all the way up. So
sweet deal.
If Smitty wants to come over and be my second, I have an extra chair.
Oh, yeah, you do.
You don't have to.
You do have the game.
You can come over. No, you play off mine.
But you still have the game.
And then Davis and I tried to play remote and
online's not good.
It sucks. But if you come over and you want to sit here and hang out, we can play. Or I can come over and log into my account. We can play, whatever. But yeah, I added Fridays to the stream, but it's a short stream, either 8 to midnight or 6 to 10. But it's just like a non-spoopy day for my non-spoopy people because I know I've gotten real hard into the horror genre, and I just can't dig myself out. But
All
that's
right.
all.
Yeah.
Happy birthday,
Smitty.
Jersey! I love you.
What about you, Smitty? What's your plans this week?
Not much really. I'm still working through Spider-Man, so I'll try to get some more of that in. Actually, Tuesdays I just got picked up for Crisio the Legend and their D&D campaign. So I actually was on his channel this past Tuesday, so that's a lot of
cool.
fun. Brought Fanta Rave back to life. Fanta Rave is still going, so that's fantastic. Tuesday I'll probably get back, or Thursday, I mean, I'll probably at some point in time I'm gonna get back on Halo Master Chief, because we need to continue grinding that. And then I told Day I'm gonna do, well, I told you too, but Metal Gear is coming. I just need to beat a game before I go and move on to it.
Right.
Yeah. It is there's a real thing. You shut your face. You shut your
Way
face.
Right.
more.
I believe
Right.
Of course, off stream and stuff like that, we're playing Little Nightmares. So
I'm actually surprised you're playing Little
That's on
Nightmares
my wish
off
list.
stream. I'm surprised.
that's on my
Yeah.
wish list. I want to play it.
I
It's a
wanted to
good-
play it with the family.
Oh, you want to play with the
Yeah,
fam?
that's cute.
I mean, I guess
get
we
it.
could do it on stream, but like, yeah, it's just kind of a something
Just
that we
you
can
guys.
just like puzzles and stuff like that,
Yeah.
and, like just us hang out. Yeah,
Oh,
the
that's
PS5 in the
perfect.
bedroom, so yeah, I mean, like we can
Yeah.
sit there, be comfortable, and take turns,
Enjoy yourselves.
running
Yeah.
through it. Yeah,
Mm.
yeah, exactly.
I
What
like
about
that
yourself,
though.
Davis?
That's cute.
Yeah.
I'm doing well, I am actually planning on getting back into the streaming of things. I've been kind of out for the past like 3 weeks with streaming just in general, but so I was trying to actually probably maybe play some Mario tonight. Got it right here on the side. Want to try out the Mario 3D Land and going to mess around with that tonight. Then after that, probably play some Persona 5 Strikers and probably on
What's that
Tuesday.
about?
What, Persona 5 Strikers?
Yeah.
It's a Muso, so it's kind of like Dynasty
I don't
Warriors,
know
but
what
you're
that
playing.
even means.
Have you ever played
Ooh, is it really?
Yeah, have you ever played Dynasty
Love
Warriors?
Dynasty Warriors,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah, so it's like Dynasty Warriors, so you're just basically fighting like a lot of different kinds of things, but this one is very story driven, so this is actually more than I ever would have thought what a Muso is as well, but you have a lot of different kinds of abilities, spells, and stuff like that, so I'm looking I've been playing a little bit of it already, and it was actually pretty fun. Then I know this week is going to be the beta for Guilty Gear Strive, so we're also going to be doing stream with the Arc System Works this week to show off the new their upcoming fighting game that's coming in April, I believe. So I believe it's on the 16th, if I remember correctly. So on Wednesday. Yeah, on Wednesday. There we go. So on Wednesday we're going to be playing some online matches to show off the rollback net code and that.
Tuesday.
Is that Tuesday? Oh yeah, you're right. Tuesday. So Tuesday, and then on Friday we're going to be releasing the next interview that we have with voice actor Kyle McCarley from Nier Automata, as well as Psycho Mob 100 and stuff like that. So yeah, we've been getting some stuff
No,
and things
Will
done.
Wheaton.
No Will Wheaton, unfortunately.
Will.
So we'll see. So but we'll see.
Nice.
We got some stuff. We got some stuff in the mix
I wanna
going
watch
on with
Play
this.
Striker. I'm intrigued with this. I have no idea what any of the words that you said meant, and I'm like, okay, but I love Persona
Yeah.
5, so
Yeah, we're going to be on. But like again, we this month we're going to be streaming on our YouTube and Facebook channels. So definitely check us out on that. Not on Twitch this month, because I wanted to give it a try, and to be honest with you, I've been having a pretty good time doing it. So it's been very fun. But guys.
nice.
This was episode number 80 of the CFG Gamecast. Thank you for being a part of the conversation, as always. You can always check us out every weekend on Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, on all services there on the weekends for the live feed, or you could just wait on the beginning of the week. We release it on podcast services like Apple, Google Podcasts, Stitcher Radio, all of them there. So there's no excuse for you to not watch us or listen to us. So if you want to check everything out, go to our main website, consfreaksandgeeks.com, for everything like interviews, news, reviews, what have you, on any services out there. So once again, this is Davis, Lex, and Smitty signing off. Y'all take it easy.
Bye.
Alrighty, we're done.
Yay! Thank you. Thank you, boys, for switching the time for.
Wait, what'd you say, Lex? What'd you say, Lex? You cut off.
I said thanks for changing the time for me. I really appreciate it. I know, it's like schedule, like.
I'm not worried about like
locked in. But
Saturday I'm pretty open on anything. Like, so I was definitely cool with it.
Same.
Yeah. So, but
we're early today. I don't mind it. I don't mind a little earlier, because then we have a lot more time on the back end.
True.
After, you know what I mean, to
hang out or whatever. Yeah.
True. Yeah, do shit, whatever.
For activities.
Activities and shit.
Yep.
I want Dust to duct tape me to the ceiling, and he said no, and I'm really sad.
Yeah, that sounds like a horrible idea.
Before I die, things I want to be duct taped to the ceiling because I think it would be funny. I'm a little human. Someone just needs to hold me up while someone duct tapes. Let's go.
Yeah, it's too much work.
Yeah, probably.
Not only that, but
you remember Edward 40 Hands?
Yes.
I do remember Edward 40 Hands.
Edward 40 Hands is hilarious. You did it once?
Oh, but they would tape us to the wall for that. I never was a participant. What? Yeah, but you'd wake up the next morning and they'd like fell half still duct tape, like falling forward. Edward 40 Hands in Texas was you got duct taped to the wall and they would duct tape to your hands and you had to finish them.
Do you remember that video, like when LAN parties was cool, like of that guy like duct taped on the top of a wall because just to reach his computer so he could play like a LAN of like Call of Duty or something. It's freaking hilarious.
Oh no, I don't.
This is old. No, this was a picture. It's an old school. No, it's a picture. It was like something that happened in the early 2000s. It's freaking hilarious. Oh, it is hilarious. Yeah, someone actually did that. It was hilarious to see.
Well, I noticed too, like Final Fantasy 14. I know a lot of people have been playing the shit out of Final Fantasy 14. They're loving the shit out of that.
Yeah, check the Dank Memes. Check the Dank Memes channel on our Discord. It's freaking hilarious.
All right, you're gonna use picture here for a second. Is there anything crazy?
How did that FedEx truck not slow down on that 100-car pileup? Like, are you joking?
It's probably because of black ice. You can't stop it.
That's true. I mean, it's funny, but like people died on that. Like that's terrifying.
Yeah, I mean,
pump your brakes slowly. If you don't know, just very slowly and let go of your wheel for a second. Let it figure itself out.
People don't know that.
Wow.
I know. It's terrifying. But yeah,
what were they playing?
If you hit ice,
some shit?
I don't know what they were playing, but it was I mean, it's I don't know what they're